They've
just got to hold on to ball now. First opportunity now in the opposition 22 properly to hold on to ball. They've got nowhere around at the driver in the minute. It'll be interesting to see if they try a little breakout around the tail, try and make 2 or 3 metres around there, get a bit of front foot ball and be asking questions of the Ospreys.
Well, it was all Ospreys for the opening 10, 12, 13 minutes, but that has turned now and it's been Edinburgh's goal.
Break away, that's fine.
Real arm wrestle and balls, isn't it? You know, no change given.
You know, that's the frustration. I'm looking at it there. Is I understand that you want to impose yourself, driving line out early on, but Ospreys haven't given up anything in that area there. It'd be good to try something a little bit different, maybe off the top, hitting Matt Scott up, who every time he's got the ball, he's actually made a few metres and try and generate some fast ball.
Yeah, I agree. They've tried it a few times on the halfway, and the reason for that is the Ospreys defend with the hooker off the tail, the scrum half position, but when they get close to the 22, they seem to choose to go for the drive.
Top, yeah.
Another
can you keep the water
break and play
field,
here.
Please? Off we go. Thank you. Off we go.
Before we get ready for the Ospreys scrummage. That's turned a lot. It was all Ospreys early on. Edinburgh evening things up.
Keep your balance now. Keep your balance.
It's so important for the home team to get off to a good start in this league, you know. To get on a bit of a roll. The Ospreys have got a decent start, and Edinburgh, the longer the game goes on, Edinburgh in with more and more of a sniff.
It was a solid win for Edinburgh when they met in November last season up at Murrayfield. Ospreys actually lost all 3 games against Scottish sides last season. Home and away against Glasgow. Of course, you're in their conference, won their conference. Kinghorn now. Gliding runner. Hickey. And the catch safely done by George North.
Yeah, really well read by George North. A lot of people, you know, think he's just a physical specimen, but he reads the game very well. You know, he's still a young man. He's played a lot of rugby and read that body language of Simon Hickey with the kick there.
Well, Owain is with Roddy Grant.
Off.
So out the way, John. John, out the way, please.
Hold.
What's up there? Pull the end.
No, just on it. Leave it now, 7.
Roddy for joining us. He's one of the busiest men out there. Making me tired just watching him.
And he mentioned there, didn't he, this next 10 minutes going into half-time. Sean's mentioned it a few times. The further the game goes on and gets into the end of this first half, if Edinburgh can get anything on the board, it'll be a huge plus for them.
That's a real poor penalty for Tom Botha to give away. A lazy penalty, walking back, and Henry Purgos, with all his experience, passes the ball into him, right in front of referee John Lacey, who gives the penalty. And I'm just looking at the contrast there. You know, both are a little bit lazy there. Pierre Schumann has carried really well around the fringes for Edinburgh.
He has. He's massively stepped up. Alistair Dickinson's obviously announced his retirement last week, and he was a huge carrier for Edinburgh in that position. Alan Dell, who's on the bench, he's coming back from injuries, so for Schumann to step up, that's exactly what we'll be looking for. It's everyone in the pack.
Well, now for Simon Hickey, his first effort at goal in the new look Edinburgh jersey after their rebrand. It's Hickey from a long way out, certainly got the distance, it's got the accuracy too, and Edinburgh are on the board. They lead 3-0.
Yeah, it's no more than they deserve for the last 10 minutes or so. They consolidated field position. Now they've become a little pragmatic and really won themselves those 3 points with some pressure they've applied.
Former New Zealand under-20 captain nudges Edinburgh in front. Kinghorn took a solid tackle there from Jones. Gilchrist, Tipperick with the tackle. And straight away, Ospreys have a chance to respond.
I actually loved Edinburgh's attacking intent there. You can see why they did it. Ospreys were narrowed up. But the problem you've got is the defence is so good and they're great over ball as well.
Who was that man that put the big shot in on Kinghorn? None other than Alan Wynne-Jones. You know, you just can't underestimate what this man brings. But I think the right choice here from Captain Tipperick to go for the shot straight away. And there's Tipperick with the low chop tackle that brings in, I think it's Nicky Smith, who adds value as a loose head over the ball with his jackling and his rips. And it's a big kick for young Luke Price. Missed his first one now, and you know, they really need this.
Young? How old is he?
He had a tough paper round down here, right?
I mean, I'm not judging a man's hairline. I can't do that.
I certainly can't.
We brew him tough down here in South Wales.
Young Luke Price at 22.
Well, he's younger than me.
Unsuccessful with his first effort at goal. And he fares better this time. It is the instant response from the Ospreys, and it's tied up at 3 apiece.
Yeah, a bit of mental toughness there from Luke Price. Don't underestimate. Looked an easy kick, but a little bit of pressure having missed the first.
All came off Tipperick's tackle, didn't it? The pressure they're putting around the breakdown there. You know, this Ospreys back row with the experience that they've got. You know, we're name dropping the likes of Tipperick and Lydia, obviously, but they've got some quality players, James King as well. So the back row so far for the Ospreys have been fantastic.
Well, that would be a frustration for Edinburgh. Boosting the confidence for the Ospreys after Edinburgh had to work so hard for those 3 points and to give it straight up.
Here we go then. We're going to see a bit of off the top ball, bit of a crash ball maybe. Someone up the centre.
I would consider this an attacking line-out, you know. So I mean, let's see something a little bit different. Look how they're setting up. You got Tipperick and Lydiard inside of Luke Price. Well, you don't want to be going there, do you?
No, I don't know. Matt Scott fancies it, doesn't he? He likes carrying ball. Pyrgos is at 9, so definitely coming off the top here, Sean.
And it does from Hamilton, Scott and Hickey. Oh, and Bennett gave that away, and Watkin can shift it on to Evans. Tipperick now.
Off twice.
Could still be on here for the Ospreys. That's loose though, and Hamilton got a boot to it. Williams.
Play on in the tackle. Knock on. Knock on advantage.
It's all happening now, isn't it?
I told you they should have drove that line out, Sean.
None of this driving stuff. Let's get it off the top and get it in the mix.
Well, just for 30 seconds, that's as loose as we've seen this game.
Play on.
Kinghorn with space to operate into. Couldn't find his man though, who was Dougie Fife. Now the chip comes through. Pyrgos covering that, but unable to keep it in play.
Well, the season just came alive, and it came off an off the top, and defences again played their part in that. A couple of near interceptions, but we got some frills and spills.
It did. I was actually off my feet there. We thought Matt Scott might get it. It's gone out the back. It's great defence again by George North. Fantastic to see him flying out of the line, putting in some big hits. As I say, I knew I'd go back to the line. I should have drove it. I said that from the start.
Yeah. Stay 8 black. Stay where you are.
Toulis, the go-to ball at the front.
Use it.
Pyrgos with the box kick. Tipperick, the man underneath it.
Great chase there by Dougie Fife. That's what you want. You don't want to just kick the ball up and under. You need a good chase. Dougie Fife's followed that up, put massive pressure there on Tipperick. Great outcome again for Edinburgh.
Line out there.
As we go into the final 4 minutes of this first half. It's only a very cagey, tight opening half hour, and it's just begun to loosen up a little. Gilchrist good hands from Henry Pyrgos. Now here's Watson, held up by Lydiate and Tipperick.
Great defence there by Lydiate. I think he definitely went high, which is not normally in his armoury. He's normally a low chop kind of guy. Said the back row been hugely impressive. Lydiate apparently not played a game in pre-season, so he's coming into this game cold, if you like, but he's been mightily impressive. See what they're trying to do. Hamish Watson, who's one of the best carriers in the PRO14, just held up there and ragdoll. So that's a big win there for the Ospreys back row, both of them 6 and 7 in there.
Such an impression from numbers 4, 5, 6 and 7 for the Ospreys. That's Bradley Davis, Alan Wynne-Jones, Dan Lydiate and Justin Tipperick. 300 Welsh caps. A bunch of Lions caps in there as well.
Ah, they're all right. They're all right, they are.
Then it goes from Alan Davis, now Price, and a good step coming in from Watkin, who's been making his impression in the Welsh jersey. There's an injury there.
Price looks seriously injured there. He's down on the floor in a lot of pain.
Price down holding his left knee as Edinburgh win the penalty. There will be a stoppage in play here for Luke Price.
It's bad, is it? Yeah.
Oh, you can just see hyperextends his left knee there after the ball.
Just about the time. If you go off after that.
He just wasn't anticipating the hit, was he, from Pyrgos, who's a little late?
That's the thing, it wasn't a big hit, his leg's just been caught. I mean, Pyrgos just tags him as he passes the ball. It's really unfortunate for Price.
Well, Sam Davis, you can see there the number 22 with the headgear. He is on for Luke Price. And what a shame for young man getting his 4th chance to start, but now Sam Davis, who is the man expected to shine in the absence of Dan Biggar. Biggar, who's off to Northampton, losing his their other halfback in Rhys Webb to Toulon. So after Luke Price got the Ospreys back on level terms, it's a sad end to his evening as we approach half-time. Almost expected Sam Davis to start, and he'll get his opportunity a little earlier than what he'd have expected when he wasn't named in the starting 15.
Outside.
Edinburgh missed the kick though from the penalty. Mata. Hickey flinging that wide for Matt Scott, who lost it in the contact, or Kinghorn rather.
Hey, stop. Leave it, two. Hey, leave it now.
Just a bit of afters.
Bit of fire going on there. He comes off the back of a good carry by Mata. It's good to see that. And again, just Edinburgh just errors in the tackle, hey, and that'll be the most frustrating thing. Not being able to maintain field position and just the ball in contact.
We've seen more than a couple of those. Final minute of play before half-time.
Crouch!
More, Hammy! More!
Hammy, your side, Hammy. Bind!
You'll see Bergen here on the tight head for Edinburgh. 10 kgs lighter apparently. Very good in the scrum, good carrier. But we're seeing there he's getting the better of him, that's for sure. With Nicky Smith at loose head for Ospreys.
Driven backwards there. There is advantage coming for the Ospreys. And they will have a penalty with just 10 seconds or so left of this first half. And Sam Davis has given the signal that he will go for goal here.
So that's 2 scrums now. Edinburgh have been shoved off. We mentioned Simon Bergen there. Hugely impressive last season, especially in a Scotland jersey as well. Apparently he's 10 kgs lighter. Could that be the difference? We'll see, but Richard Cockrell prides himself at set piece and especially scrum.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you'll know all about Richard Cockrell pre-season. Jim, I'm sure you've been through a few of those.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Yes, I have.
Well, you live to tell the tale.
Exactly, just about. No, I mean, we're seeing that in Edinburgh, aren't they? They've got a much stronger underbelly with Cockrell involved, and they're looking to add layers upon that. He's all about culture. He's all about set piece and guys fronting up, so that's what we'll be looking for.
Well, Sam Davis just onto the field. It's a long kick. Well, it just floats wide of the target, and well, that's a couple of misses at goal from the Ospreys between Luke Price and Sam Davis. But the half-time score therefore means we are level. Ospreys 3, Edinburgh 3.
3-all half-time. Fair reflection that first half?
Yes, it's a tough physical game like we expected, to be honest. We knew that they weren't going to come here and try playing too much, and we need to look after the ball better and in attack as well. But yeah, 3-all's fair because their defence has been pretty good.
Frustrating not to score early on, 20 minutes, a lot of possession, a lot of territory.
Yeah, exactly. Something we'll sort out in the shed now and then get back out there.
All the best, Justin. Cheers, mate.
A gruelling opening 40 minutes, and the half-time score here at the Liberty Stadium is Ospreys 3, Edinburgh 3.
By joining the official Guinness PRO14 fantasy rugby game by signing up on PRO14rugby.org. You can win great prizes playing against your friends and fans of other clubs. And no matter where you are, make sure you follow the Guinness PRO14's official Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube accounts to gain access to exclusive content, news and competitions throughout the season. Guinness PRO14 want to thank title sponsor Guinness, partners Gilbert Rugby Sport Pacer and Macron, and tonight's host broadcaster Premier Sports for their continued support. And Sports Pacer is the proud gaming partner of Guinness PRO14. Whether it's scoring the winning try or playing online, you should take every opportunity and make it count. But please gamble responsibly. Guinness is the official responsible drinking partner of the Guinness PRO14. Please enjoy the game responsibly on behalf of Guinness. Once again, welcome to this PRO14 fixture, Guinness PRO14 fixture between the Ospreys and Edinburgh. Best of luck to both teams competing today. Now we've got some great youngsters on the pitch tonight. We're taking part in some tag rugby, so future Ospreys, no doubt. Pretend Sports against Lanharan under 8s. We've got Swansea Uplands against Lanharan under 8s, another Lanharan team. We've brought along with them because Swansea Uplands under 7s are also playing Lanharan under 7s, and Skewin against Lanharan under 7s, and finally Dunban versus Trebanos under 7s. Good luck to all of you kids involved out there. Hope you enjoy. Right then, hello to everybody over this side. So often we come over here, I know, but it's now time for you to win a prize. Now, last season we had the best seat in the house competition. We're doing something a bit different this time. So you can meet some of the Ospreys down here. Helping me out today, we've got Peter Volpe, Will Jones, Leslie Clint and Corey Allen. Now, one lucky fan is going to win. That's a great shot. Well done. Well done, Leslie. Okay, before you let it go, let's just explain what's going to happen first of all. There's going to be 10 mini rugby balls being shot up into the grandstand. One of them will have the words winner on it. If that's you, you've won yourself an Ospreys jersey. Okay? So here we go. 10 balls. We're going to do them as quick as we can. Because we haven't got long for half time. Here we go. Here's the first one. And it's landed on the floor. Well done. Excellent stuff. Obviously, it didn't go that bad in train. Oh, there's one. Well done. Congratulations. Does it say winner on the ball? Does it say winner on the ball? No. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Now, remember, if it says winner on the ball, you've won yourself an Ospreys jersey. And there's people over there totally oblivious, not knowing what is going on. There's another one. Oh, that's a great shot. Okay, oh, there's another one. Look again, it says winner on the ball. Does it say winner on that one? No. Oh, there's a great shot. Okay, how many have we got left? Well, that's a good shot. Oh, one-handed. Where do you want it? Where do you want it? There's people waving from everywhere. Okay, this is the last one, is it? Okay, now, who's got the ball with the word winner on it? Up there, gentlemen, would you like to come on down? You've won yourself a new Osprey shirt that replaced the old one that you've got on tonight. Well done. Right, don't forget to join us next week with the Ospreys take on the Toyota Chickens on Saturday, September the 8th, 5:30 p.m. Tickets are still available for this cross-hemisphere contest. You can go online to ospreysrugby.com or head into the ticket office to secure your seat. We've got our winner here. Right, we got a winner. Let's have a quick chat. Congratulations. What's your name? Alan, where are you from? Aberdeen. You enjoying the night? Yes. What are you excited about in the second half?
Let's hope they get a grip.
Let's hope they get a grip. The Ospreys going to win?
They should.
What's the score going to be?
12-9.
12-9, a close one. Well, Alan, you have got yourself, courtesy of Ozzy, and the photograph with Alan right here. Congratulations, we're going to get your jersey brought across to you. Photograph with the winner on the ball. Well done. Alan, our winner of the slingshot. And we'll have more slingshot competitions going on throughout the rest of the season. Now in the Riverside post-match, the Ospreys Supporters Club will be interviewing new Ospreys captain Justin Tipperick, as well as one of the other Ospreys squad players. Make sure you head over to the Riverside Bar post-match to catch the interview with both players. Happy birthdays now. We're going to bring the birthdays up on the big screen. So if you've been in contact with the Ospreys, you know, will be coming up on the big screens around the ground. Here we go. So happy birthday to Bobby Stevenson from Carmarthen. Hope you enjoy the match. Logan Freeman from Merthyr Tydfil who's here tonight. Also happy birthday Jackson Jones from Penland. And Julian Evans from Mount Sadler. Happy birthday to you. As well as Jack. nice evening kick-off to start your Saturday night. Come on down, bring your friends. Tickets available through ospreysrugby.com and also through the ticket office. That's next Saturday, the 8th of September, a week tomorrow. Ospreys get to turn the cheers, 5:30 p.m. in the Guinness PRO14.
The second half, it's a fixture that here they have had complete domination for the last 9 years. 8 victories on the spin. And there's Sam Davis, who's come on for Luke Price. Now Luke Hamilton and Edinburgh return to the field for the second half. They actually won the joint most number of games last season, along with the Glasgow Warriors in the PRO14 at Edinburgh. But really, bonus points were their issue and cost them the place in the top 2. Third place meant they had to go to Thomond Park and Munster and just came short.
Yeah, I think Cockrell would have said to the team at half-time, they've played well, there's some good things, but they've not held on to ball. They need to put massive pressure on Ospreys in this half by holding on to the ball a lot longer.
Yeah, I agree. You know, when you're an away coach, you come to these sort of tight games, you want to be within a score with 20 minutes to go and put the pressure on the home side, and I'm sure that would have been part of his talk.
All to play for. Here's Mata looking to create a spark that could give Edinburgh the edge. Kinghorn, Duhan van der Merwe. A real battle of 2 big wingers as he goes up against George North. Fascinating contest that. Toulis onto his second row partner Gilchrist.
Stay there.
You can already see that Edinburgh running with more conviction. They've got to be a lot stronger at the breakdown. We saw that. And another drop ball, unfortunately.
Well, Bergen this time. Hanno Dirksen, South African winger, takes it up for Ospreys.
Advantage over.
Sam Davis onto Scott Williams. Kinghorn, he's very relaxed in that take. Simon Hickey. Here's Schumann, good burst from the prop forward.
Tackle now.
Just see a tip pass there, just on the edge, McAnally to Schumann, running hard, front foot ball, Hickey gets a front foot kick away.
Hickey puts it up high, but it's easily fielded by Davis, the substitute, and finds a good touch too.
And that's what you get with Sam Davis. You know, coming through the academy as a kid, not many better players with kicking the ball out of hand that I'd work with, and he's got a variety of kicks, and we will see him kick for corners, and it's such a tight game, and put the pressure on Edinburgh. He even got out the back door pass.
Well, he's a man with plenty of experience as well, only 24 years of age, but well over 100 appearances for the Ospreys. Well taken by Toulis.
One stop backwards.
A game of fine margins.
Stay one. Stay.
Edinburgh got a little bit off the box kicking chase last time. Wonder if they'll look for that, try and mix up the game, try and put Osprey under pressure in different parts of it.
That ball is loose. Hamilton coming in with a solid hit, but now it's with Alan Wynne-Jones, Davis to Tipperick. The Ospreys beginning to find their stride. Watkin to Williams. Dan Evans held up well by van der Merwe.
Yeah, got inside.
Bradley Davis. Gilchrist is in there, told to release by the referee. Alan Davis George North escaped the clutches of Bill Mata.
Off!
You can see the Ospreys, they never seem to work more numbers than the defensive line. You know, it always gets cut. Here's a chance, maybe.
Managed to get that out to Watkin, but a loose one from the inside centre.
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm saying. They don't seem to have the speed of ball or generate enough quick ball to get extra numbers on the outside. It ends up, look, seeing when Watkin picks his head up, it's a 2-on-2. All he's got left in the locker is to kick it through.
Okay, he has got an eye.
Expecting a good battle in the centres, and how will Owen Watkins' game develop with Scott Williams alongside him?
Yeah, he's a good young prospect, Owen Watkin, local boy, Bridgen, Pencoe College. He's a big boy and he's got a great step on him. He's got a big future because he's already been identified by Warren Gatland to play for Wales. But I think playing alongside Scott Williams can only benefit him.
He was rewarded with a new contract last season, also played in the summer against South Africa and one of the tests against Argentina.
Nice. I know you can't see, but move back. Yeah, I got it. Numbers.
You just wonder here whether Edinburgh will look again. Mentioned the box kick before with Purgos. Van der Merwe on the wing. Just try something slightly different, just to try and break down this defence. We can see Purgos coming into the pocket now, or are they going to try and run? I think they should look for the kick myself.
Yeah, you got Watson to chase as well.
Keep the mark.
Watson and Van der Merwe hearing after this one. Well taken by Tipperick. As John Lacey spotted here, it will be an Edinburgh penalty.
Just here, Sean, yeah. Pulling players out of the maul.
This is where you're looking as well, not just for your captain McAnally who's throwing the ball in there. You're looking for your co-captains, your guys like Purgos, who's captained Glasgow in the past, Gilchrist to step up and say, right, we need to change this game. At the minute, we're not getting through anything. We're dropping the ball. How else? Have we got anything else on our armoury? We're not getting anything from our drive. So what else can we do? Can we break out? Can we put something at the tail? Can we start putting them back through our big carriers, through Matt Scott? Can we go out the back? So it's just these decision makers from the leaders in this team that Cockrell will be looking to step up now.
I agree, Jim. I mean, this game is there for the taking at the moment. The Ospreys don't look like breaking their defence down. So it's worth having a little go to see if you can just get on that front foot.
We can see there Murray McCallum is on for Simon Bergen. As Edinburgh make a change in the front row. Tap back by Gilchrist. Here's Hamish Watson. Sam Davis dragging him down.
Move!
Toulis. Now Schumann, the new man, in the front row.
Leave it! Yeah.
Hickey. Tom Botha met him. Purgos spinning out of the tackle, Bradley Davis. Matt Scott takes it for another couple of yards. Purgos has it once more. Van der Merwe will chase this one. And he will drag his man into touch. Dan Evans.
That's a great attacking set coming in from Edinburgh. We talked about changing it up, Jim. A little pick and go around the fringes. Purgos threatening around the fringes. Tom Botha misses some tackles, and then, you know, to put this kick through, keep it in field, so you now get the putting in the line out. Great stuff.
Exactly. Now you get an opportunity to drive. Ospreys are on the back foot. They're blown a little bit off that defensive set. It all came off that Schumann carry again. I've been hugely impressed with him.
Well, can the creativity win over the defensive reliance from both teams, really? Mata straightens, clash of the two number 8s as King battered him down. Watson next to carry on. Purgos directing things from the back of the ruck. Edinburgh take it on a little further through Hamilton.
Leave it! Ball is here.
This is where Edinburgh needs to be really strong around the breakdown. So they're going around the fringes, but Ospreys are very, very good, as we've seen over ball. So Edinburgh needs to be tight, they need to be physical if they're going to get over the line.
Gilchrist with the next charge, but Edinburgh can't get it out of there. And Ospreys win the penalty.
Yeah, you're so right, Jim. They're too smart. You know, Tipperick is obviously the threat. Scott Orton is good over the ball, Nicky Smith. But this man knows when to go for it. He just bided his time, waited for Scott Orton to get clear out, and then had a little bit of a sniff at time to go for it. And when you go for it, you've got to make sure you get it.
Good work to steer your feet.
Yeah.
No, not releasing.
You see it again here. Jim called it. You know, you've got to be so careful, alert with your ball presentation. You've got to push it right back. See, they deal with Orton, but Schumann's too late on Alan Wynne-Jones, and that's a cast iron penalty.
Oh, he's the master in those situations, Alan Wynne-Jones.
Well, let's say he's the master full stop, eh? Yeah, I said it.
Oh, from one second row to another.
One stop, 9 backwards.
Orton has it.
Use it.
Not going anywhere, so Alan Davis. Well, mistake from the scrum half.
Right, your nuts and bolts. Imagine how you're in the front of that maul, Jim. What are you thinking?
Well, huge frustration. Story of the game, really, isn't it? You know, we're seeing a few of these uncharacteristic errors. You see he's looking for a... Well, I don't know what he's looking for there, actually. Is he looking to box kick that? Is he looking... I mean, either way, he's messed up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got one eye on Hamish Watson, as we know, is very quick.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stay on that side right now.
It's Grant Gilchrist who's being tended to here. Captain Scotland against Canada over the summer, the second row. He's done the same job with his club on a number of occasions.
We talked pre-match about the substitutions possibly having an impact. Did he? You know, sitting as a coach up here now in such a tight game, you're thinking, well, the boys look okay, they should be fit enough. It's he who dares wins a little bit, isn't it?
Well, the risk-reward factor comes into play. Almost 10 minutes played of the second half. Of course, the strength and depth will be a big factor as the benches start to get emptied.
Set.
I'm sure it would have been a fix at half-time. They would have been looking at the scrum Edinburgh. An opportunity now, a foothold.
Okay, both of you guys.
Into the Ospreys half.
Shoulders, okay?
Alan Dell on the bench.
Hit up.
Ross Ford, we all know about. Huge experience. You talk about strength and depth as well.
Here,
Edinburgh have got WP now to come back into the frame as well. They've got young Murray McCallum, hugely impressive. We talk about this strength and depth. That's what Edinburgh are going to need going forward for this season to get some success.
Bind. Set.
McCallum on. It's a slightly more solid platform for Edinburgh. Fife. Pyrgos got the shout on the inside too from Luke Hamilton. Here comes Hamish Watson. Toulis. Now Hickey. And Mark Bennett taken down. It's now Schumann.
Tackle!
Alan Wynne-Jones holding him. Kinghorn. Again driven backwards. Edinburgh not getting too much forward ball, and the knock-on spotted by John Lacey.
Just see Schumann, he just wants to carry, doesn't he? He's mad for it.
Yeah. Well, he's got a few scrums to deal with as well, Jim, but I just was watching Dan Evans, the fullback, because they sort of zigzag play a little bit. They went one out on the right, then they came back to the left. Poor old Dan Evans covered some ground in that 22, but it's come in. You know, it's definitely been a talk from Cocker at half-time to go a bit shorter and attack, a bit of pick and go, and Pyrgos is coming into his own as well.
Is either side getting anything in the ascendancy, managing to assert themselves?
I think Edinburgh are. I think they are. I think we're seeing Edinburgh playing a little bit better than the rugby, but ultimately we're saying the same thing again. It's coming down to the mistakes. Simple error. We saw another knock on there, and you know, is it a classic? No, it's 3-3. But what we're seeing early on in the season is just good defences and errors that you're going to see, Sean.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I think Edinburgh are looking a little bit smarter at the moment in their approach, and they look as if they know that they can break the Ospreys down or force them into a mistake. It's as again, it's getting into that last 15-10 minutes into the Ospreys' psyche that this is a close one.
Ospreys ball
Crouch.
for Alan Davis.
Bind. Set. Steady.
Again, a
Use
more
it.
solid set from both sides. Sam Davis. Well, he'd spotted the space, but it was just overcooked.
It was properly out, that one.
Yeah, I sort of given the commentators curse, didn't I? It was the right option. There was 8 acres of space there, and it would have given the Ospreys great field position, but too much in the boot.
Oh, you can see there the damage to Luke Price, who went off in that first half. What an opportunity he had. But now Sam Davis gets the chance.
And it might mean a chance for James Hook as well next week. Good to see him in the mix.
McInally. Here goes Schumann once more.
He's loving it.
And again, go.
Toulis.
And again, come on.
Now Gilchrist.
Way tackler.
Murray McCallum waits and now carries further. This is decent stuff from Edinburgh. It's Mata, and probably the closest they've got all game to the Ospreys line.
Way 7.
Hamish Watson. Wyn Jones
Step,
in there again.
Step.
Looking to disrupt this Edinburgh attack.
This is where you're looking for real control now from Pyrgos at 9. He knows they're good under ball. Edinburgh need numbers around there. They need to hold on to ball. They get 2 metres out, they can score.
Well, the arm is out for advantage. Edinburgh fancy more.
That's held up. We're going back for the penalty advantage.
And it will just be the penalty held up by the defence.
Offside.
Well, you feel that Edinburgh deserve a little bit more than 3 points, and Ospreys, if they do go for the post here, Edinburgh will feel they've got away with that one. But for me, this is a great half-time team talk from Richard Cockrell. It's a clearly defined plan in the second half to pick and go, suck the Ospreys defenders in, flash back and forth behind the rucks, and take them on there. It's 1-0 to Richard Cockrell.
Come on, guys, let's move back. He's indicated a shot, please. Let's go.
Yeah, we see here a little bit more control around there. Botha comes in from the side, who's actually played really well in his first start. And it's easy for Edinburgh then from then on. They just know they can keep hold of ball. And they've got an easy penalty waiting. I mean, to be fair, they're probably looking for 5 or 7 there. They were that dominant, so Ospreys will probably take this.
Well, Simon Hickey knocks over the 3 points, and that nudges Edinburgh in front once more.
Yeah, you got to say that the away side are good for it at the moment. Real in the ascendancy in the second half as Hickey knocks an easy penalty over, and the Ospreys have got to raise this crowd a little bit at home.
Ross Ford is on for Stuart McInally for Edinburgh. Ross Ford now into his 16th season as a professional. Still going strong.
Use it!
Pyrgos. Gilchrist taking over the captaincy for the visitors. And now, some rare ball in this second half for the Ospreys. It was Otten.
Okay. Ball is...
Alan Davis to his namesake Sam. Here's George North. Big fend from him. Eventually dragged down by Ross Ford. Davis. And now Williams. Bradley Davis onto Dan Lydiot as the Ospreys look to stretch the play. Dirksen. Well, that penalty seems to have encouraged the Ospreys into life a little. Sam Davis Dan Evans, Owen Watkin, he sidestepped Bill Matta, and Hamish Watson does what he does so well. Alan Davis onto Bradley Davis.
Stay back now, stay back.
Sam Davis. Scott Williams.
Off feet now. Leave it. Yeah, I know.
Well, it's a long set this. We've got some players blowing out there. Bradley Davis, number 4, looks tired. I think both is done as well. Maybe it's his ankle or something, but some tired guys out there at the moment.
Sam Davis to Scott Williams, who just tries to clip that one through. Safely knocked out of play. As the Ospreys look to get going quickly, it is being called back by John Lacey.
That's what Sam Davis gives you, a little bit of something different, but no, to be fair, Wayne Davis had his mark there, his flag up, and we talked to James Hook at half-time about little kicks through, and there was another example. And they get the repeat set with the line out in a dangerous place now, Jim.
Yeah, we saw that a lot with Scott Williams last season at Scarlets. He's got that in his game. He's not just a crash ball. Nice little touch on the front foot, and we're seeing that this is where teams now are breaking down defences. Kinghorn kicks it out there, but that might even next time just stick up there, and we might see a try. We did see a try, but it wasn't a try.
You know, I think player Kinghorn can get down on that ball and back up. You know, you got Scott Orton chasing. You can get back up and consolidate, but now it's a really threatening place.
Time on, please.
A couple of changes that have seen Alan Dell come on for Edinburgh and Alex Jeffries for the Ospreys. Pierre Schumann is impressed on his debut.
Numbers 6+.
Well, don't tell me Schumann's gone. I thought I was loving watching him.
Schumann and Botha have both gone, the two South Africans.
I think Schumann won that one for me.
Botha enjoying his 28th birthday today.
Advantage.
There's advantage here for the Ospreys.
Stay.
Alan Davis. And they look to spread it. Scott Williams onto Dan Evans. Here's George North. And North is in. What a return to Wales for George North, and he has the Ospreys' first try of the season, his first in Ospreys colours, and he lights up the opening night in the Guinness PRO14.
Well, he's had a great game, George, involved on the attack and in defence. You know, it's not what he deserves, and you just want to give players of his calibre a one-on-one. Dan Evans gets on the outside of Van der Merwe. You just got to give George North one-on-ones against anyone in the world, and he can do that. The Ospreys are back in it.
Wayne, are you happy on that side that they're not hitting early?
Yes, great work there by Dan Evans. He knows George North, like you said, one-on-one will beat anyone in the world. It's just great to see, as a rugby fan, George North, smile on his face, running with the ball and scoring a try, maybe against the run of play,
yeah,
some might say.
I think so. They picked themselves up, to be fair.
Well, here goes Sam Davis to make it the full 7-pointer. He does just that, and Ospreys in charge now.
5.
Some good long passing coming in from both Sam Davis and Scott Williams. And it's nice for George to cap his full debut for the Ospreys with a home try, and it's none more than he's deserved for his efforts tonight.
Well, he's been away for 5 years at Northampton, and George North announcing his return to Wales with a try. And Fraser McKenzie has come on for Grant Gilchrist.
Crucial 10 minutes now for players and coaches. They're still very, very close. One score we talked about going into the last 15 minutes, and Edinburgh is still very much in this game.
What move?
Spotted Sam Cross there, who's come on. Teammate of Mark Bennett's during the Olympic Sevens back in 2016 in Rio.
Contest good.
And that's well won, and here goes Sam Davis. Dan Evans, brilliant pass out to George North. He's looking to do damage again. Hickey gets back to knock it. But the Ospreys have it. Edinburgh scrambling in defence here. Ospreys have numbers. It's Alan Wynne-Jones, and it goes through the hands and out onto the touchline.
So disappointing. It was one of the few opportunities they created. Numbers and overlap on the left-hand side. Alan Wynne-Jones did well to straighten up, but the execution of the pass wasn't right, and it just goes to show you get the ball into this man's hands and Scott Williams, it can make a difference.
Yeah, you want to see there was good by Hickey to get back, but you're hoping Blair Kinghorn dives on that ball, don't you? Easily stop it. Ospreys are now on the ascendancy, we've seen that, and Edinburgh now need to show what character they have got.
Adam Beard is on for Bradley Davis.
Off the head, play on.
Otten.
Stay now, stay.
Alan Davis. Tipperick. Sam Davis almost through. Alan Davis out to Watkin, now Williams. Dan Evans. The backs are getting a little more joy now.
Yeah, Scott Williams instrumental in that. Passing is excellent. He's stepping up to the plate.
Watkin, lovely ball inside to Hanno Dirksen, but it had been read by Bill Matta. King. Sam Davis. They look a danger every time it goes out to Williams now, and George North is chasing this one, but out just in front of the Edinburgh try line.
He's going to be a massive bonus to the Ospreys this year, isn't he, Scott Williams? Yes, he'll be away with Wales, but tonight he's shown some real leadership and character.
Yeah, speaking to John Barclay about him, huge loss for Scarlets, as John Barclay is now at Edinburgh. Mentioned Scott Williams' desire to work and improve his distribution. We mentioned the kick through. Yeah, huge addition. Big fan of his.
Ball!
Out. Edinburgh secure the ball, line out going to Luke Hamilton.
One stop, 9. Stay there.
At the back with Ross Ford and almost charged down.
100% yes. Edinburgh ball.
Yeah, touched in flight.
Edinburgh ball.
Bit of a bonus there, Jim. You're on the field. 10-6 down. What do you reckon? What are you going to say?
It's touched. Contest good. Stop! Stop! Stay! Stay!
Here goes Hamish Watson running into open space, eventually hauled down. It's quick ball though for Edinburgh. Bennett. Now with Alan Dell. Pyrgos to McKenzie. And an injection of power from the substitute. Hickey. No way through the tackle of Sam Cross.
I suppose the answer to my question, Jim, would be give it to Hamish Watson.
Exactly, it was a great carry from Matta before that. Now Schumann's gone.
Use it.
Give it to Watson, exactly. So it's great to see Hamish Watson with ball in hand. That's where he's devastating. I just want to see Edinburgh just finish something off. Just break the gain line again. But they're going to this slow ball where they've been turned over in the last few phases they've had in this area.
And that's testament to the Ospreys' defence. Pyrgos with the dummy and dart down the fringe. And knocked on.
Knocked on.
Ospreys once again survive.
Yeah, we're seeing Hamish Watson break through the gap here. He's brilliant for that, breaking the first tackle a lot of the time in open space. Once they get into this position, I want to see Edinburgh just go again, go at the line, don't set, they're setting, they're going through with their backs. I want to see Matt come through again. I want to see Ross Ford flying through there, Fraser McKenzie, he's fresh on, and put Ospreys on the back foot. Once Ospreys have got control in defence, they're unbreakable. Edinburgh haven't scored a try, we've seen that. I just want to see Edinburgh just finish them off and just be really ruthless in that area.
Hamish Watson had been out for 4 months, showing no ill effects of that shoulder injury.
Bind. Set. Stable.
The shove comes from Edinburgh, but Ospreys able to exit their 22. Kinghorn now cutting infield and looking for a gap. He won't find one with Sam Cross lurking.
Off your feet. Thank you.
He's a rare talent. Good tackle into touch again. That's George North. He's holding himself. He's all right. Come on, George. Scored a try. But Kinghorn at the back, you know, he's showing real good signs. But I just feel he's out of position a little bit. You know, Sam Davis, Alec Davis there, got a lot of space to kick into.
19.
Yeah, just a bit indecisive. We know he's very good with ball in hand. The next stage for him is being able to manage the game, be decisive. Are you going to kick? Are you going to run?
Ball!
Tipperick.
Yeah, he's through the middle. Don't pull it down now, don't pull!
It's into Otten.
Yeah, he's fine.
Sam Davis thought about the kick, instead flings it wide to Scott Williams, is through. But he couldn't quite find Alan Davis with the pass, and now Mata is looking to counter and almost open up for the big Fijian. Kinghorn out to Fife. Murray McCallum. Pyrgos. Hickey did well to control the ball there. Pyrgos gives it up to Cross. And again, just frustrating play for Edinburgh. And they might pay for it here, because here goes George North once again. They will not catch him. It is the dream debut for George North. A second try. And what a brilliant return to Wales it is for their star winger.
Well, it's a story of the game for Edinburgh in the ascendancy yet again, and another error high in the field. And the Ospreys have got their tails up. Their passing behind has been excellent. Tipperick involved, and you can't give George North the touch. Judge can't keep up with him, let alone Luke Hamilton. And fair play to George. He deserved his brace tonight.
Yeah, you're shaking your head if you're an Edinburgh fan, and you're nodding very happily to see George North running in for his second try. As we said, it was all undone by Edinburgh's bad work again in the tackle, losing the ball in a key area and not exerting pressure.
See, Brad Davis, the defence coach, was pointing to the line. I didn't know where he think he was going. There's only one place George knows to go.
Sam Davis makes it an 11-point game, and the lead is stretched.
Well, it was great passing again. You know, Matt Sherrod to be working on the skills in pre-season. Dan Evans, it's good on counter, and Tipperick forever wanting to put somebody else in space, and well, you can't give that man too much space.
Scott Baldwin is on for Scott Otten at hooker, and there's also a change for Edinburgh that sees, well, poor Luke Hamilton after that long chase, which he had no chance of catching George North. He is off, and Jamie Ritchie has come on.
Thinking Jim Mitchell Cockrell, we thinking it's a case of what might have been, really, isn't it?
Well, I think so. I mean, like, Edinburgh have had good spells, haven't they? But they've made uncharacteristic errors in key positions against teams like Ospreys with a star-studded team and game breakers that can score out of anything. You don't stand the chance then, do you? So, I mean, impressive with Edinburgh at large parts of the game, but they've got to be really clinical away from home.
It's Ford and Jamie Ritchie with his first involvement with ball in hand, and it will yield a penalty for Edinburgh.
And there's George's first indiscretion of the game. He's been excellent. He made the high shot and didn't move on the floor. A chance for good field position from Hickey here.
You know, George North, he looks leaner. I don't want to say smaller, I'm going to say leaner if he could be any leaner. You know, but maybe that's a conscious thing for him.
Or his shirt is tighter.
Either way, he looks good. He looks great.
I think he's happy, you know, his move, he's home. And, he's had a good rest. I think that counts for a lot in the modern professional game.
Triple change for Edinburgh sees Sean Kennedy, Jaco van der Walt and James Johnson come on for Henry Pyrgos, Simon Hickey and Mark Bennett. It's Ford into Mackenzie. Edinburgh look to give them something to fight for in the final 8 minutes here. Kennedy, Van der Walt. Edinburgh have the penalty to the disappointment of Hanno Dirksen.
What do you do here, Jim?
I think you've got to up the tempo. I don't think getting anything from line-out drive, but they probably will go for it. I mean, Ospreys last week in pre-season, not that it matters, conceded a couple of tries against Saracens when they played. I know that they've seen there's a potential opportunity there, and this is the first opportunity they actually get 5 metres out. So if they can get 5-7 points on the board, they're still in it.
Ford, an important line out, and it is taken by Toulis. Edinburgh look to get the maul going. It's back in the hands of Ross Ford.
Use it.
Kennedy has it now. Duan van der Merwe. He's their go-to man in those situations, but it's just not happening for Edinburgh tonight.
Well, I think that might have been Sam Davis. It's something he has been criticised for in the past, his one-on-one tackling, and if it is him that's made that hit, fair play, it's a try-saving tackle.
Here we go then. Let's get set. Come on then. Let's go. Hey, let's go.
I mean, that just shows Edinburgh's game, doesn't it? You know, line-out drive didn't go anywhere, very slow ball, looking to do something off the back of it, handling error. I mean, great tackle.
Adam Beard was good in that maul, you know, he spared himself.
He got a turnover at the line-out, his first line-out when he came on as well, so he's had a huge influence since he's been on.
Use it!
James King leaves it for Alan Davis and cleared away by Sam Davis.
Now, I'll do Sam Davis's confidence a lot of good. He's on earlier than he would have anticipated with Luke Price's unfortunate injury, but he's done well, he's kicked well, defended well, and, you know, it's been a good half for Sam Davis.
7.
To his confidence, no harm at all. You can expect a fair amount of starting time. It didn't look good for Luke Price. Ross Ford. Jaco van der Walt. It's the starting 10 for the vast majority of last season. Kennedy gets it to Kinghorn. He's almost away. Jamie Ritchie might be. Steps. Finds a teammate too in Fraser Mackenzie. Edinburgh threatening to make a real game of this last 5 minutes. Watson can't quite get there.
In the side, 16.
There is a penalty coming.
Still advantage.
Taken on by Dell.
Back foot. Still advantage.
McCallum with his hands on it. He's only going sideways.
Leave it.
Have they got advantage?
Yes.
Kennedy Advantages there for Edinburgh.
No!
But it's been that problem all night that they just can't quite get through the line. Kinghorn might now! And he does score, and we may well have a game on now.
Yeah, I had 20 as
Yes, game on, and it would be that man, Kinghorn. It needed one of their principal ball carriers. I was looking for Billy Mata, but he was too busy clearing out rucks, and Kinghorn stepped up to the plate. And fair play, you know, Kinghorn initiated it by a little half break there, and this man really has impressed. Jamie Ritchie, a good young talent, and Edinburgh are back in it. It's going down to the wire, Jim.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And you want to see Edinburgh now really up the tempo. That line-out that it come off, it took them a minute and a half to get going. Once they did get going, it's resulted in a try. Jamie Ritchie, like you mentioned, it was touch and go whether it was going to be him or Hamilton that were going to start the game. Ritchie's impressed in the summer tour with Scotland, very good in the loose. And you're just looking now, Edinburgh want this ball back, and they've got to really, really go for it now. There's no waiting around, no slow ball, and that's a great kick.
Well, Jaco van der Waal makes it 17-13, but Jim, who's your Guinness man of the match?
Well, I didn't want to go obvious, but I'm going to go obvious. As we can see, it's 17-13 now, but I'll pick Justin Tipperick as man of the match. You know, been fantastic around the tackle area, fantastic over ball. He's captain, he's led the team, and as it stands, Ospreys are winning. Are they going to win the game, Rory? Who knows? It might change.
Come on, lads.
Honourable mention for George North.
Yes, let's play.
Done all right.
And Schumann.
Schumann was outstanding.
He was.
Okay.
Well, George North with his 2 tries misses out, but the influential Justin Tipperick Guinness man of the match. And with under 3 minutes remaining, this one, it is still all to play for. Kennedy.
Onside, captain.
I feel bad now. Should I pick George North?
You're paid to make the big decisions, Jim.
Yeah, I won't be there. Use it, 9!
You pick who you think, Jim,
No,
right?
Well, I like George North as well. I'm always going to pick a forward, aren't I? I don't know what they do out the backs. It's too easy.
Stick with your convictions.
He's only run a couple of easy ones in anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe he'll share it. Maybe Tipperick will share it with him.
Tell you what, you're in trouble if he gets a hat-trick now.
I am.
So Richard Cockerell is still alive for him.
Time off.
Boy, would they love a score to nick the points here.
Hey, fancy this one off the top. Billy Mata, Hamish Watson's gone into the midfield, going with a 5-man line out. They need the score, clearly.
This is where you want the ball in. You want the ball in, you want the ball out in Kennedy's hands as quickly as possible and get Ospreys on the back foot.
Tom Haberfield's onto the wing to replace Hanno Dirksen for the Ospreys for these dying plays in this contest as they look to get off to a winning start. Kennedy to Mata.
Yeah, thank you.
Who's punched plenty of holes. Van der Waal, Scott.
Just watch the big players step up for the Ospreys in this set. Now Tipperick, Alan Wynne-Jones, those sort of players. George North.
Tackle! Leave it, captain!
All about seeing it out now for the Ospreys. Van der Waal has to kick. Dan Evans has the chase on along with Haberfield, but it's Evans who takes it. And this will be a handy place for Edinburgh to have a line out.
What a chase coming in there. I think it was Dougie Fife. It was a great kick because he kept it in field, and it was all about the chase then. Dougie Fife made a crucial read and a tackle. Was it going to be Haberfield picking up? Was it going to be Dan Evans? Made the right call, and now it's game on, Jim.
Yeah, you're worrying with that kick, aren't you? You're thinking, what's he doing? And then it's, but the kick's turned into such a good kick because of Dougie Fife. Now, we just saw Edinburgh in this position 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, and they scored.
They don't need to score near the post. You know, it's so close now. A try will do it.
Well, these two have been so well matched. There's been fine margins ever since the very start of this game, and Ross Ford has it for Edinburgh. They've just been held back, but it is Ospreys' ball. That is a key call. They will have the ball, and all they need to do is knock it out of play to win the game.
Well, that's disappointing from Edinburgh. Richard Cockerell is down pitch side now. That was the only chance. And they needed to execute it, as you said, Jim. They haven't really executed their driving maul tonight.
Well, I'd like to see that again. I mean, Edinburgh going forward probably for the first time this game in that line out there. I don't know. I'd like to see that again to see what actually happened. So Edinburgh looked like they were going forward.
Is that time? Yeah.
And it looks like it's game over there. But I mean, ultimately, you look at it, it's a fair result. Edinburgh have been in that position a lot of the time, have made a number of mistakes.
Characteristic of the errors that they have made in good positions all evening, and ultimately that looks like being their undoing.
Set. Stay.
Alan Davis, it is clean, and Sam Davis can knock it out, and it is a winning start for the Ospreys. Very tight game. They were made to work all the way to the 80th minute by Edinburgh, but it is the Welsh region who have got off to a winning start. They're still unbeaten at the Liberty Stadium in 2018, and it was George North's night on his return to Wales. 2 tries for the winger. Edinburgh came back with a response from Blair Kinghorn, but it wasn't enough for Richard Cockerell's side to take the full points that they were looking for. They will get a losing bonus point, but the Ospreys have won by 17 points to 14.
For more information and to buy your tickets. Guinness is the official responsible drinking partner of the Guinness PRO14. We hope that you enjoyed the game and wish you were safe on the journey. Thank you very much for supporting the Ospreys tonight. Don't forget, our next home game here at the Liberty Stadium is a week tomorrow. That is coming up on the big screen any second now. It's Saturday the 8th of September, and it's 5:30 PM here at the Guinness PRO14, where we entertain the Toyota Cheetahs. For more information, you get yourself a ticket online through ospreysrugby.com or through the ticket office. 5:30. A week tomorrow, Saturday the 8th of September, Ospreys against Toyota Cheetahs. We'll see you back here a week tomorrow on Saturday the 8th of September, where we entertain the Toyota Cheetahs and the Guinness PRO14. We hope that you're all going to be back here as well. Bring a friend as well. Let's create the atmosphere for the rest of the season. From everybody here at the Liberty Stadium, good night. Lots of love.
Even line out all game, so we were under the pump big time. And again, the front 5 came up trumps. I think it was Adam Beard got through them all and stopped it, so it saved our bacon at the end of the day.
Edinburgh, quality side, obviously in the playoffs last year. Where does this kind of put you in for the rest of the season now?
Hopefully it gives us a good stepping stone, especially after last year. We can build on this now. Obviously got the Cheetahs home next week, and they were in the playoffs last year as well, so it's going to be another tough game, so hopefully we can just back it up and keep building on performances.
Yeah, that's the thing, kind of being on a good run here at Liberty, backing it up is vitally important.
Yeah, and we want to give the fans some good performances, and some of the rugby in the second half was pretty good, so it's why we play rugby, and that's what we pride ourselves on this year.
Superb. Cheers, Justin.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.
Nice one, well done.